And welcome back to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nation Owano. Now time to switch gears into matters African football with relation to the CAF Champions League, and the following is how the fixture results took place and stood out at the end of the games. Now, Erick versus Vita Club, the game ended 4-1 in favor of Vita Club. Petro de Luanda versus WAC Casablanca, the game ended 1-0 in favor of Casablanca. Simba versus Al Ahly, the game ended 1-0 in favor of Simba. And then Kaizer Chiefs versus Horoya, the game ended 0-0. The other game that was honored in the course of the week was former champions, that is Zamalek versus Tengweth. The game ended 0-0. And then finally MC Alger versus ES Tunisia, the game ended 1-1. Now a brief look into the CAF Champions League group standings after the matches that were played in the course of this week. This is how the table standings of the various groups stack up. Now in Group A, Simba goes on top of the table after beating Al Ahly earlier in the week, followed by Vita Club. Then third is Al Ahly, and then the fourth team is Al Merrek. In Group B, Mamelodi Sundowns is at the top of the group standings, followed by TP Mazembe and CR Belouizdad. In Group C, Horoya is at the top of the table, followed by WAC Casablanca, Kaizer Chiefs, and then finally Petro de Luanda. Finally, in Group D is ES Tunis versus MC Alger. Then Zamalek is third, followed by Tengweth. Now, I'm joined in studio by our regular sports analyst, matters African football, that is Erick Shilenje, who's also an instrumental part of the preparation of the show and Kapula Sporty Show that airs every Monday. Shilenje, welcome to the show once again. It's always a nice time having you on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nation. Pleasure again to be here with you.
I know if I'll given you a chance, you'll have gone on and on about Chelsea, especially considering the fact that right now your team is really doing well. But we're going to be having another time to talk about Chelsea. Now, looking at the CAF Champions League results, the game that were played in the course of the league, in the course of the week, a major fixture, that is Simba versus Al Ahly. An impeccable performance by our neighbors, that is Tanzania, in beating Al Ahly. What did you make of that particular match?
A very good match. I think after the game we've had so much noise from Tanzania. After the performance, it is a very big performance for them, winning against multiple champions Al Ahly in a very tricky fixture. We can say that they were aided in a bigger way by the presence of fans, about 60,000 fans filling the Tanzania stadium. And Simba didn't disappoint. You can see that they've been really planning for the win for a long time. Simba have been able to keep their squad for several years, about 3 to 4 years. They've been with the same squad and they've been only strengthening, just making themselves better. So you can see that Simba have been preparing themselves for quite some time. And it's not a surprise for them to be churning out this kind of wins. And remember, in that group, they have El Merrek and SC Vita Club. You can see that the first two games, they've already managed to win against the group favorites, that is Al Ahly and AS Vita Club. So you can see they already have an upper hand in terms of qualifying to the next stage. If they keep on performing this way, the next game they are going to play El Merrek home and away. If they can get 4 points from the two games, then I think they'll be already through to the knockout phase. So I can see Simba have really tried better, representing East Africa, raising the flag high. So it's thumbs up to them.
Okay. Interesting you mentioned something that I was just about to go to, that is the issue with relation to fans back in the stadium. What will be your recommendation? Do you think that it's time for now clubs to open the stadiums and say, you know what, Corona is here with us, but let's open the stadiums and have the fans back into the stands? What's your take on that?
I think it's quite clear, and in Vaso, everybody knows that the game without fans is actually a dull game. And you could see from the reaction of the Al Ahly manager, Peter Msomani, he was really amazed by the presence of fans, 60,000 fans in the stadium, and he said that that was a key factor towards his team losing the game against Simba. If you look at the overall situations of COVID, we can see that in Africa they've really gone down. So it's possible that for now we can have a phased reopening, let's say beginning with a few number of fans. After a certain time, we have another phase of increased funds. Then slowly we can have the funds back. For me, I think it's the right time because CAF already did a trial at the concluded CHAN in Cameroon. They had a number of funds, about 2,000, 3,000 in the match, and after that tournament, we've never heard of cases that emanated direct from the field of play. So from that trial, it's evident that Africa is ready to welcome back fans and make us enjoy the game once again.
Okay. Let's talk briefly about the game between Tengweth and Zamalek. What do you think is the problem at Zamalek? Because a couple of years back, when you mentioned Zamalek, that was a team that was enough to scare the opponents. But looking at the way they've been performing lately, things are not really going in their favor. What do you think is the problem at Zamalek FC?
I don't think there is so much to worry about Zamalek at the moment because it is only round 2 of the fixtures. We still have 4 games to play. Perhaps they have to play a return game with Bengweth. And Zamalek is a very experienced team. You can never write them off until the group phase is over. So I still believe Zamalek will come back. They are still favorites to win that group or finish second and qualify to the knockout stages. So at this level, I don't think there is any reason to raise alarm about Zamalek, given their experience, their potential, and being multiple champions for the past years. So it's still about a matter of time to wait. Okay. For Zamalek.
Okay. Speaking about still sticking on matters football, in Kenya we can't seem to be shying away from matters controversy. I'm talking with regards to the fine that Gor Mahia was given. What did you make of that, and do you think they warranted to be given a fine for their behavior in the course in the CAF Champions League?
I think it was terrible for Gor. They went down to Zambian team, that is NAPSA. They lost the first leg at home, 1-0. And when they went to Zambia, obviously, they had a mountain to climb. So they were in process of winning the game until the last minute penalty that NAPSA was able to equalize, and the game ended 2-2, and NAPSA was able to qualify on away goals, that is 3-2. I mean, a goal aggregate. So the Gor Mahia players protested, and they actually roughed up the referee, which is something very unfortunate. I think they should have stayed calm as professionals. You accept the result, whether it was unfair or fair, because we cannot really tell if the referee was he made the right call or not, because in Africa we don't have the right technology like the VAR where we can really confirm. So it's still a matter of 50-50 whether the referee made the right call or not. So I think they should have stayed calm, because now they are staring at a fine. They can be also banned from participating in CAF. And that is a very lucrative competition for African clubs. So it is a sorry state for them. They should have stayed calm.
Okay. Yeah. As we summarize the part with relation to the CAF Champions League, I just wanted us to look at the way the group standings are, and probably what are some of the performances or surprises you expect. Let us go group by group. In Group A, we had Simba, Vita Club, Al Ahly, and Merek. Any upsets or surprises that you're expecting?
Wow, there is already a surprise in the first round and the second round, because in the first round, Simba won at AC Vita Club. They won away at AC Vita Club 1-0. And in the second stage, the second group, the second game, AC Vita Club have now won at El Merreikh 4-1. That is a very resounding win.
Yeah.
So you can see there is a new trend here that teams can go away and win games. Something that is really hard in Africa. In Africa, you usually know that the home team wins, whether it's a small team or a big team, whether it is the national team playing for the CAF qualifiers or the AFCON. Usually, the home teams win. And coming to the club, it usually resembles the same pattern. So for an African club, a Civita club, going to Sudan to pick 3 points, Simba going to a Civita club, Congo, to pick 3 points. That is a major shift in the competition, that we are now experiencing good football, that a team can have confidence, can go away and pick points just the way as we see in the European Champions League. And that is the football that everybody would like to see, not the game whereby you only play to draws, 0-0 draws, where teams don't score, everybody's trying to defend and avoiding defeat, and they don't express themselves in the field of play. So this is a trend that should be encouraged.
Okay.
Yes.
Looking at Group D, that is ES Tunis, MC Alger, Zamalek, and Tengweth. Do you see a possibility of Zamalek making it out of the group stages?
I see a big possibility. My money is still on Zamalek and Esperance. Esperance, Tunis, and Zamalek. These are the very experienced teams in these groups. So make no mistake about the results that have been posted so far in the 2 games. I still see Esperance winning the group, followed by Zamalek. So I think those are still the top teams to beat in that group. Already Esperance are leading the group. So as the games go on, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th and 6th leg, I see the Zamalek up there alongside Esperance.
Okay.
Yes.
Finally, there are 2 teams that we have talked about. That is Mamelodi Sundowns and the Kaizer Chiefs. Mamelodi already at the top of the PSL in South Africa. Any upsets that you're probably expecting? How far do you fancy they could go into the competitions?
For Mamelodi, I don't expect any upset. They've been very consistent. They've been competing head-to-head with the Arabic clubs. Those are clubs from Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia, and Egypt. It is only Mamelodi Sundowns from the sub-Saharan Africa who've been able to match up with them alongside TP Mazembe. So I don't feel they are going to upset because they've been very consistent. They've been there, won the African Champions League, won the Confederations Cup. I still feel that they have the power, they have the potential. With their team and the experience they have, they're still going to perform better in this year's edition. They've already won the first game. They played only 1 game, but they're leading the table. The other teams have played 2, but they have not been able to match up with the Sundowns. So I don't expect any setback from Sundowns. However, for Kaizer Chiefs, I'm a bit worried about them because they've been missing for quite some time. They have not been performing better even back at the PSL. They haven't got their mojo back and into their normal state that the Kaizer Chiefs we know. So they're still struggling, and I expect that in this competition, I see them maybe as a dark horse, but I don't see them as a main challenger in the tournament. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Shilenje, for finding time to come to Metropole Sports Center and share your reflections with relation to the African football. The next time I'm going to be having you on the show, we'll probably be talking about Chelsea. I know that's a topic that really excites you.
Yeah. The most team on form at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. So looking forward to having you on the show again. Now time for us to quickly look at the events watch segment of the show. Now the following games are the ones that you need to watch out for this coming weekend. That is in the CAF Champions League. WAC Casablanca is going to be playing against Kaizer Chiefs. CR Zidad is going to be playing against Mamelodi Sundowns. And in the PSL fixtures, the following games are going to be honored this coming week. That is Maritzburg is going to be playing against the Black Leopards. TS Galaxy versus Morocco Swallows. Amazulu versus Supersport United. United, Chippa United versus Cape Town City, and then Orlando Pirates versus Bloem Celtic, and then finally Golden Arrows versus Baroka. Now in the English Premier League, the following games are going to be played this coming week. That is Manchester City versus West Ham, West Bromwich versus Brighton, Leeds United versus Aston Villa, Newcastle versus Wolverhampton, Crystal Palace versus Fulham, Leicester City versus Arsenal, Chelsea versus Manchester United. Looking forward to having Shilenje on the show to analyze that game. Then Tottenham Hotspurs versus Burnley, and then Liverpool versus Sheffield United, and then finally Everton versus Southampton, that is the Saints. Well, that's all the time that we had on Metropole Sports Center. Do wish you a fantastic weekend. See you next week, same place, same time.